geloof blijkt voor een deel erfelijk.
We looked at a number of different aspects of religious behavior and attitudes. And the surprise was that for certain aspects of religiosity, apparently genes did play some role in deciding or helping create why one person should be religious and another person not. For example, we did some fairly large twin studies, we and other people in other parts of the world too, and we looked at identical twins and non-identical twins, and the rationale here is that identical twins share all their genes and non-identical twins only share about half their genes. And when we looked at the similarity of twins for religion, and we're talking here now about, for example, how often people go to church would be one very concrete example, easy to measure, of a person's interest in religion and how much they spend doing this kind of thing. And what we found was that identical twins correlated probably 0.5, 0.6, so 60% similar, let us say, for church attendance. And then when we looked at non-identical twins, we found that they only correlated 0.3, 0.4. And so we saw a difference in the similarity of twins as a function of whether they shared all their genes or half their genes in common. There are two things which really all this seems to show. One is that you can't ignore the genes, and the other thing is that the environment plays a big role, but it seems to be not so much the environment that is shared by members of the family, but it's the individual, unique environmental experiences of the individual.
We know more and more about the role of our genes, and it's in a way very frightening. I mean, it's almost unnatural. It's not me doing things, it's my genes doing things. Who is going to church? Is it you? Is it your genes?
I remember once saying, if you're going to be pushed around, what would you rather be pushed around by? Do you want to be pushed around by your environment, which is other people and the weather and society? Or do you want to be pushed around by your genes, which at least are inside you and they're yours?
Sommige mensen zijn dus van nature geloviger dan anderen, zegt Yves. Nee, ons DNA bepaalt niet of we katholiek worden of moslim. Dat is natuurlijk het werk van onze culturen. Maar gevoeligheid voor religie ligt wel in de genen besloten. Bij jonge mensen, waar opvoeding nog bepalend is, geldt dat veel minder. Onze genetische aanleg speelt op naarmate we ouder worden. En er bestaat niet zoiets als een godgen. Het is veel en veel ingewikkelder.
How is it possible that church attendance could ever be a genetic thing?
Well, you have to remember that there is an extraordinarily long and complex pathway from the DNA to the human. This involves, of course, the genes making proteins. The proteins are the building blocks out of which the structure of the mind is, the structure of the brain is created. They are the proteins that control the function of the brain, the kinds of stimuli to which the brain is sensitive and how we react to these things. All our experiences ultimately are encoded in the brain. So I think we have to think of a very long and complex pathway involving many, many steps, which in the end issue in people doing things, with their brains, or their brains do things with them is probably a better model. And we don't have a clue yet how we get from the DNA to going to church. But what we see is, astonishingly, that when you go as far away from the DNA as this strange human activity, apparently the fingers of biology are still reaching up there.
O Lord our God,
accept the fervent prayers of your people. Religious people have to deal with the fact that when they talk about God putting them somewhere, God doing this or God doing that, they have to deal with the fact that God's operating through this stuff that makes us.
Wetenschappers breken het wonder van het geloof in stukken. Het is deels hersenen, deels genen. Je kunt zelfs iemand religieus maken met stroom. Maar wat valt er dan nog te geloven? Wat zijn de woorden van een priester nog waard als de biologie het raadsel al heeft opgelost?